The recovery boot options are some booting options that we've had around for a long time, but we get to them differently in Windows 10 than we used to in Windows 7. Back in Windows 7, during the boot process, you could tap the F8 key and it would interrupt the boot process and take you to a screen where you could choose things like safe mode, debugging mode, and so on. Those are still available to us in Windows 10, but with the GUID file system, you can no longer interrupt the boot process, and so we have a different way to get to them. Here are some of the things we have, by the way. Debugging mode, which is an advanced mode we're not really going to get into, but you can transmit the boot process to another PC over the COM1 port and run debugger software on another machine. Boot logging is really cool. You can create the ntbtlog.txt in C Windows, and by the way, I did that earlier, and here it is. And so it looks like this, and so you can see that each thing that loads is reported in this log. So obviously the NTOS kernel loads first, and then the hardware abstraction layer, and so on, until finally all my drivers and other software loads down there. So you can see exactly what your load process, your boot process looks like. Low resolution video mode. I've seen people swizzle around their settings for their monitor, and next thing you know, they can't see anything on the monitor when they're booting up, and so you have to use this mode in order to be able to bypass that. Safe mode starts with a minimum of services and drivers needed for it to run, so that you don't have all those extra drivers and things that might be messing up your system. There's safe mode with networking, with the command prompt. There is the disable driver signature enforcement in case some driver that has a signature is causing problems. Disable the early launch anti-malware protection. Windows 10 has a system in it whereby it loads the anti-malware software first, Windows Defender first, before everything else. Well, if that's what's causing the issue, you can disable that here. And then finally, you can disable the automatic restart on system failure. So here are a set of pictures of what those screens look like, but let's just do them. The first thing I'm going to do is go to a virtual machine and let me fix my screen so that you can see just this screen a little bit better. There we go, we're back on this virtual machine. I'm going to go ahead and click Start, and then up here to the Settings, Update and Security, and then Recovery. Now, what I'm looking for is this Advanced Startup, because that's what we're looking for, Advanced Startup options. So I'll click Restart now, and it will go ahead and restart. This should only take a fairly short period of time, so I'm not going to pause the video. And here we are, troubleshoot. And then I don't want to reset this PC. That would be reinstalling Windows. We don't want to do that. Advanced options is what we want, and then the startup settings. And here they are. Now you see I don't have any buttons to press, and these are not clickable. I actually have to restart to get to them. So I'm going to click Restart over here. And when it comes back up, you'll see that I have F keys 1 through 9 that I can click in order to choose how I want it to boot. And here they are, F keys F1 through F9, and I can make my selection. Now if I did click F10, which I'll go ahead and do, it says Launch Recovery Environment, and it's going to come back up in a big loop and come back to where we started in that troubleshoot screen, so that I could get right back to where I left off here. And there it is.